Zorluhan Zorlu, who's a digital media consultant and joins us from Istanbul. Good to have you on the programme. What do you make of the newly created fact-check label that Twitter has used for the first time here on President Trump?
Thank you very much. As a matter of fact, we were expecting this to happen for a long time. As you know, some traditional media outlets were already having the fact checker on their websites as well. So this was a much expected move from social media companies as well, because the rise of social media as a source of news blurred the lines even further between the news and opinion. And there's a lot of people who are getting their news from social media. As a matter of fact, more than half of the people is getting their news right now from social media. And more so than Twitter is a very popular platform in terms of people getting their news and following politics. So when it comes to this decision, there's a couple of questions that we need to ask. For instance, who is going to decide what is misleading or not? Is this decision going to be based on the Twitter algorithm, or is Twitter planning a sort of like a Supreme Court to make this decision to kind of like lead their users into fact-checking? As you know, that Facebook has started such a thing. Mark Zuckerberg has declared that he's sort of like founding a Supreme Court, like a platform, an independent platform to check the news and the content and on Facebook and to make those decisions. This is certainly a very interesting decision.
It's an interesting decision and an interesting time. Why has it taken so long for Twitter to do this?
I think it's becoming like a more and more kind of like question by a lot of users, and we have seen a lot of events on Twitter and Facebook lately. I mean, these are not new, but it's becoming more often and more often that there is some disinformation and there is some news spreading so fast on Twitter, and then a week later we are learning that it's not the truth. So I think, you know, this is a late decision by Twitter. We were expecting this much earlier to happen. But then the question is, how is it going to happen? As you know, millions of people are having conversations on Twitter, millions of conversations. So who are going to read all of these tweets? Who are going to kind of like judge all of these tweets or label all of these tweets and lead those users in a right way? I think it's a question still to be answered by many social media platforms, because the question is not about only they are doing this, but the main question is, how are they going to do this? But I'm sure that I'm also sure that there's a lot of people are expecting this to happen, because as I said before, there are a lot of events happening like this in the past. And as a matter of fact, if you check out the fact that you remember the election between Nixon and Kennedy. Okay. We all know that in the first debate, the TV was the determinant of the election. Right now in 2020, I believe that social media is going to be the determinant of the outcome of the election. It's much more important than any other channel right now. So as a matter of fact, we see that Facebook and Twitter is banning political ads. So that means that they want to kind of like stay free. They want to kind of like avoid the political conversations as much as
we're running out of time, I'm afraid. Zorluhan Zorlu, you brought up many interesting points, and I am a big fan of Twitter. Thank you so much for your time here on the News Hour.